Hey y'all, welcome to GM Gourmet. Friend of mine, he's had a really good duck season and his freezer's full. And I was the beneficiary of of his good hunting. So I'm starting here. Gonna pluck the duck that I'm gonna roast. The rest of them just got breasted for some content you'll see in future videos. But right now, this one, I'm plucking it because I want to roast it. I want that crispy skin. And, you just grab that hair on the belly and you pull upward. The belly hair is, the belly feathers are the easiest to pluck. If you try doing the wings or something like that, that gets a good bit harder. Not a lot of meat on duck wings. So you'll see with this one, I didn't actually pluck the wings. I just kind of carved breast thighs to spatchcock it. So that's where we left. And actually, in trimming things up, one of the thighs even came off. So what I'm doing here, like I said, I want that skin crispy. I'm mixing a mixture of salt and baking powder. Not baking soda, baking powder. And this should help dry out the skin while it sits in the fridge. So spreading this, go very lightly on it. I brined the duck overnight before I did this, trying to get out any gamey flavors and brining it. And I actually did make it a bit too salty. So go very sparingly with this, particularly if you did brine it overnight. One solution could be if you let it soak overnight in milk instead of a brine. That could help things out. So get all this fully applied, and then I set it in the fridge for, you should do at least a half an hour. I did mine for about 4 or 5 hours. And when I pulled it out, then you want to try and get off as much of that powder as possible. The baking powder can get kind of clumpy, so you want to definitely try and brush it off. Here I'm making a mixture of softened butter, mayonnaise, garlic powder, and black pepper. I didn't add any salt to this mixture, as I would for chicken, because, as I said, brined it, salt on the skin. So then you just got to get your hands dirty and rub this in. If you can get it under that skin, particularly if you're doing a chicken or a turkey, you definitely get it under the skin. The duck has a lot of fat under the skin, so it's not as necessary on the duck. But you just want to rub this on all of the skin. Any other herbs you ever want to put in, this is a good way to get them to stick to the bird. But in this particular instance, duck, wasn't too worried about other herbs other than garlic. Then you want to score the skin. If you can do that fancy crosshatch pattern, that's good. I just made sort of a chevron pattern. You want to score the skin and the fat, but not the meat, not the flesh. So that's your goal here. That'll help some of that subcutaneous fat render out and fry up the duck skin, get it nice and crispy. I actually found a little BB. So coming out of the oven here, ripping hot skillet. I'm going to put it on medium heat. Sorry things are a little messy. There's been a lot of cooking going on in the house. My wife has been trying to get things ready for Christmas, and she's been baking up a storm. I had to kind of fight for some kitchen space. So this thing's ripping hot. Now it's over medium-high heat. And I'm going to take the bird and put it in skin side down to get that. The oven is set at 325, by the way. So before you get going, preheat your oven to 325. So when you get the skin sort of crispy, I don't know whether that's butter, mayonnaise, or rendered duck fat, or most likely a mixture of all of them. But that starts to come out and fry up that skin. You let this go for a minute or two, get that initial sizzle going, and then once it calms down a little bit, then you can put it in the oven for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you're going to go ahead and pull it out. Now we definitely have some rendered duck fat in there. And I'll grab my tongs here. Flip the thigh that fell off over. Flip the rest of the bird over. Look at that skin. Look how crispy that looks. It's like a hardened bark. put the glove back on before we deal in this deep skillet here. And grab my probe for my remote thermometer, cooking alarm, whatever you want to call it. Set this for your desired doneness. I set mine for 135. And we're going to go back in that 325 degree oven. Once it comes out, ooh, look at that. Duck's starting to look just about medium rare. I'll let it carry over. I went ahead and let it carry over in the pan for a little bit before I pulled it out. Let some of that heat from the pan sort of still radiate at it. The skin is extra crispy. I actually had to fight a little bit to get the knife in. Carve it. Look at that red meat. So we carve up the breast. Now, my wife, she doesn't like really any meat to be medium rare. She likes things to be a good bit more done. So here I'm carving off both breasts, and I'm going to put hers back in that skillet over medium heat to cook it up just a little bit more. It was actually worked out really well to do it that way, because having let it rest, I got the inside to still stay a little pink, but got a darker ring around the outside for her. And so carve off these breasts. Ultimately, the thighs didn't end up turning out very well. If you're having a hard time getting your thighs to get carved off, don't stress about keeping them, but definitely roasting the breasts on the bone really helped. That like beautiful color of that duck meat with that crispy skin. So yeah, I put my wife's in, throw that temperature probe back in, and let hers cook while I start carving mine. So just want to say thanks for watching, y'all. Go ahead, hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell for notifications, do the internet video thing, get in the comments, and join us here for the next one. Thank you. Bye.